Hawthorne. Cotton from the 1. Cut down.
It's based on whether they can get the vertical run game going as well as the vertical pass.
The bell cow is Mark Weissman. He's number 45. Number 38 in the backfield with him is Adam Kotz. Rudock changing the play. They go to the I. Weissman. Rumbling. Almost.
But Iowa can go fast. It's a nice wrinkle I think they added in the offseason. Gives you way more flexibility if you do have some tempo available.
Weissman again, this time hitting the backfield and taken down.
Has seen in college, the league he played in junior college was almost all spread attacks. So good read there, ran under the block. Good reaction.
Short set by Rudock. He throws, but a very short completion. Damon Bullock is in as a running back. And here comes a blitz. Rudock takes off. He'll get enough for the gets rattled. He's a very smart guy. It's a microbiology pre-med major, so he's obviously really bright. Throws underneath, complete to Bullock. And Bullock gets...
That's very important.
Back to the I. Bullock, the tailback. And Bullock will get the carry. Breaks a tackle in the open across midfield.
Last year with concussion.
Weissman back in. He's averaging 156 yards a game on the ground. Instead, they go to the air and a back shoulder throw.
Too soon.
Rudock will throw underneath and again
over to that side.
Baltazar 22 is in there. The near side corner. Stack the receivers to the left side. And they throw short to one of the tight ends, Hamilton.
To the right.
Cornbrath tries to pooch it. Nice end-over-end kick. They'll let it bounce. And it takes a backward bounce touch near the...
And much like we've seen here in this game, not quite there in the pass game, I don't think, to beat Ohio State tonight.
Straight ahead power play.
There's him until November.
They like to run the read option. Williams swallowed up by the defense. Through
it was all about accuracy. Let's see if they've had some growth there.
3rd and long for Nelson. 4-man rush. Pretty good protection. Throws underneath. Cavante Martin-Manley, who had 2 touchdown returns last week. He leads the nation, averaging 31 yards a return. They are not going to kick it out of bounds. They're going to kick it to him. Single setback behind Rudock. Rudock short set. Had it stuffed and almost in.
4-0 and then lost their first Big Ten game to Iowa. So this will be a big step for them.
Draw play. Weissman, the horse, straight up the middle inside. The
job of knocking Botticelli all the way over to the right to open the hole.
Bullock checks in. He'll get some. Rudock on 2nd and long to Bullock. They string him out. Had nowhere to go. Somehow slips through. Just over 100 yards.
And that's Jeremy Baltazar in one-on-one coverage to the right, filling in.
They look that way, then go back the other way, and a perfectly thrown ball by Rudock. He dropped it over the course. Will be a 49-yard attempt. He is hit from 44 this year. And he's got that one.
Go for it on 4th down. We'll see if that tracks out to make a difference in the ball game.
Antonio Johnson and Marcus Jones are deep from a yard in the end zone. Johnson taking down shy of the 20.
One of the things when it looks to everyone like the play's going to the right.
Under center this time, a fake to Cobb, and the pass to
get inside hand position for leverage.
Nelson gives to Cobb. Cobb didn't have a chance. Hit in the backfield by Anthony. Wide receiver, he's in the slot near side. 4-man rush, plenty of time. The throw underneath to Cobb, and Cobb
actually in this ball game on some special teams, but they've been a little thin. But early in this game, the secondary for Iowa not letting any maroon shirts run free yet.
Martin-Manley, who had 184 yards in punt returns last week, takes this one and gets
behind those trophies.
Going to have to give me more than that.
And Google.
Rudock Can't find anybody. Anybody but Martin Manley. It's an upset. Plava is the fullback. No fullback has carried the ball this year for Iowa. Weissman behind his fullback. Bullock is in as the tailback in a passing situation. And too high for Martin on a punt return this year, a 65-yarder, averaging better than 13 a return. And the ball hit the return man and came out. Tried to make the catch in a lot of traffic, and Jones couldn't hang on.
And Gavin Smith is really lucky he does not get called for kick-catch interference. He was being blocked, so maybe the reason...
But just not much there against that front wall. Nelson, the quick out, has a completion and has a first down. Derek Engel makes his 8th grab of the season, and that was a good throw by Nelson, who needs to complete the passes when he's got a guy open.
It was also thrown on rhythm. This is there is plenty of cushion over there by Desmond King, the true freshman. It's been starting since early in the year, but that was a really nice job by Nelson. Catch it, turn, and throw. Accurate, timely, really nice positive play on a 2nd and long.
Quarterback keeper, Nelson, going to lose a couple. This isn't right. Straight ahead power run with Roderick Williams, who had his best game of the year, 148.
And Hitchens in to mirror the quarterback.
Cobb is the running back. Nelson gets the completion. Nelson in the pistol. Fakes the fly sweep, throws sideline. Again
in the Big Ten.
They're near the bottom of the national stats and just about everything. Cobb cuts it to the outside. Dangerous shoulder.
Is very much behind that rule because of exactly what you just said.
Out of the pistol formation on a read. Cobb inside the 30 to about the 20. 3rd down and 7. Nelson under pressure. Now they're faced with a... Sometimes when one coach is very conservative, and Kirk Ferentz has been, the other coach tends to be just as conservative. There's a marker down on the punt. We'll check this out.
And of course...
Offense, right guard. 5-yard penalty. Down remains 4.
And remember the 4th down.
Who averages 42.5 yards a kick. Now be able to put some leg into it, but he crushes one. Passing game, a work in progress for both. Weissman, young man who started his career.
He's at the running back position for Iowa, which has been the norm for the last 4 years.
And he is a workhorse, and I understand what he means about those beds. Once you can get a quarter to bounce, you don't want to touch it.
Why would you mess it up?
Weissman goes to the outside. Could be the running back on 3rd and 3. They want to throw for it out in the flat. Fullback Adam Cox. Cox with a lot of room to run and finally knocked out of bounds.
Taking their time after the big.
Rudock under center this time. Bullock. They collapsed the left side of the defense, but Minnesota
who suffered a concussion last year. And Ferentz said, I don't really want to talk about that because I think we're finally getting some depth at the position.
Straight back to throw. Martin Manley adjusts in the air. That could be offensive interference. Martin Manley worked his way around Murray, number 31. Let's see what they call.
What a wonderful throw, though. This is so important for young quarterbacks to understand the importance of being able to underthrow a long throw. There is no chance for pass interference if Rudock overthrows this ball, and instead
pass
Murray
interference. Defense number 31, 15 yards.
Weissman back in. bulls his way for a couple.
This, to me, feels like a play-action pass down if you're Iowa.
8 carries for 56 yards for Wiseman. He'll get it again. Just inside.
Maybe being able to run if it's covered.
His favorite receiver, number 11 in the slot right. They have 5 wideouts. 4-man rush. Takes off. And got to the goal line. No signal now. It's a touchdown. Rudock had his legs taken out from under him, dove for the pylon and hit it. Got a great look at it here.
Excellent job. Again, because of the breakdown and pressure, bounces it to the outside. Touchdown. Good call by the line judge right on it. This Big Ten officiating crew has been spot on perfect today.
Nice run by Rudock, his 5th rushing touchdown, although he took a shot at the goal line. Point after is good, and Cobb is the tailback. Nelson looks that way, then looks back the other way. Throws nearly caught. Is it intercepted? It is. Picked off on the bounce by Christian Kirksey, the outside linebacker, who had a touchdown return of a fumble against Northern Illinois, his 3rd defensive touchdown of his career. This one bounced off the hands of Drew Goodger. The pass was behind him.
Give Alvis, the defensive end, credit for not leaving. This was a throw to the right that came back. They were trying to set up the screen to Goodger. And because Alvis was standing there, the throwing lane was not there. Make sure the interception was made, and it was. And Christian Kirksey, they're going to review this, which they
looking to drive a nail in the Gophers' coffin. Straight back to throw, plenty of time to the corner, and that's going to be out of bounds and incomplete.
Bad deal for Minnesota.
Vereen had narrowed his choices to Minnesota and Stanford. Very bright, very engaging young man and a terrific player. Weissman. Like Jerry Kill is here, his depth is being tested right here. Rudock goes for the end zone, and out of bounds, incomplete, a lot of contact. 59-yard field goal. He's already hit from 49. And that one hit the upright. No good. At least you brought up a great name. Now Minnesota's got to get something going. The running game has not been there at all, and the passing game has been. And he would know he is a real outdoorsman. Loves working around the water, which Gophers have only generated 40 yards in offense. This will add to it, and a hit out of bounds on top of it. Had a better angle than we did, and he saw 1 foot still in bounds when the contact was made. Cobb trying to keep his feet, lunges forward. While Donnell Kirkwood is in the ball game, and he's got the carry. Kirkwood started the seat 10-0 from the pistol. They'll run the option, and they'll blow the play dead. Holy cow.
Big mistake for Minnesota here.
Offense, number 80.
Now 3rd and 6. Nelson back to the pistol. Pressure coming. He throws, and
a little bit in it, but Minnesota had exactly what they wanted.
Yes.
Just missed it.
And the outside has been open. It looks like Iowa's bunching its defense in the middle of the field, so that's something they'll look at halftime. Now they punt it away, and the ball will roll inside the 20.
Brock Vereen not being in the game as the defense Minnesota's playing. They're playing 5 across. It becomes man, and what they need to do is make sure that you have to be able to bail out of that. The 2 safeties are Antonio Johnson and Cedric Thompson. Thompson gets caught up in the wash, and there is no deep safety because they had to play 5 across man, but without somebody like Vereen who knows how to bail out, knows how to chase angles, I don't think there's any doubt that the secondary of Minnesota got caught up in that man and didn't know where to go help when things broke down.
Now, this is a little bit of a dangerous situation here for the Gophers. You don't want to make a mistake. You'd love to be able to try to get back in the game, but you don't want to do anything silly. But Iowa is by far the best defensive line and the best defensive front 7 that they have faced. Again, they go to the outside.
On the move and let him try to throw when he's moving.
And he seems to like those sideline passes, too. This time, a planned quarterback.
Right there that it seemed like they lost between those two plays.
Four-man rush. Tries the run. Not going to get much. No sense of urgency whatsoever. And line drive kick, a fair catch made it. Boy, they are something special. And Iowa, they're happy. They're up 17-0. They'll take a knee.
You've got a timeout. You've got 41 seconds. You know, we've been out on the West Coast. We've covered Oregon. This, to me, just feels entirely too conservative. At least take a shot.
All right, let's check in with Janine.
Coach, you held a good running Minnesota team to 80 yards total offense in this first half. Why have you been able to win the battle up front?
Our guys are doing a good job. They've hurt us in the passing game a little bit, too, so it balances out. And, yeah, both teams are playing hard. We got a lot of work to do still.
You knew this would be a physical battle. There's a pig on the line. What are you going to say to your guys at halftime to keep this momentum rolling?
We're just trying to win the game, and it's going to be all 30 minutes. We were up here a couple of years ago. It didn't finish up real well. So, you know, we got to play the next 30.
Thanks, Coach.
Janine, I think they can smell the bacon. At the half, our score, Iowa 7.
His speed.
Williams. Biggest hole they've had all day. Williams, them exactly what the coach meant. Got a gain of 12 on that play after 6 carries for 10 yards in the first half. Underthrown, almost completed. They were confident that this would be his time to become a leader, a guy who could step up and play big-time football. Give up the outside. Short set to throw. That's going to be enough for a first down. Perfect pass.
Deep corner routes and now a slant to pick up the first.
Certainly got the crowd back into it. Cobb straight ahead, maybe 2.
10 and see if the defense can get a turnover.
And the defense has played pretty well. In trouble, and down goes Nelson. Nelson out of Mankato. Drops back and sets on 3rd and long. Almost intercepted.
Wouldn't have been that big of a deal because it would have been about the same yard line as you're probably going to end up here for Iowa.
Mortell to kick to Martin Manley. Hits at the 1 and skips forward into the end zone. 52-yard kick. Hawkeyes start from their own 20. Weissman back in at tailback. Taking
Up, I think he's about to get to 20 or 30.
Think he might get a couple of more? And that's out. Big 3rd down. 4-man rush. A little bit of pressure. Pass over the middle, first down and more.
Stacking behind the guy that you would suspect if you're Minnesota, and Martin Manley, who would have been the go-to guy on that pass. Good patience by the quarterback to wait for the backside receiver Hilliard to clear.
Bullock gives Weissman a break.
Now starting to get the running game that they want, and if you can get some receiver going.
Run blitz by Minnesota. They just sent everybody.
I was really happy with this clock running.
Pass thrown to Martin Manley.
Rudock's done that nicely a few times.
It is the first down. Rudock back to throw. Rifles this one. Martin Manley had to go. Vereen has better speed than he showed on that. He still might be suffering the effects of that.
Now you've got to be worried about a draw by Iowa.
Rudock takes off. Plenty of room to run. He's got the first down and more.
With another huge 3rd down conversion.
Weissman back into tailback. Big hole up the middle. Weissman.
Accuracy issues in the game that I watched against Northern Illinois yesterday, but he looks great today.
He's been very efficient. Weissman. Look at that power.
They were never quite the same up front. Weissman came in from fullback and gave them a little bit of spark at tailback, but this is more like an Iowa team that you're used to.
Weissman now at 85 yards. There is a flag down. This could be a hold. Terrific tackle by Damian Wilson, the middle linebacker.
Well, they're going to get Jordan Walsh for holding again. You mentioned earlier number 46, Cameron Botticelli.
Holding. Offense number 65.
They're in the low 90s nationally. Here's the screen, and Rudock wants to swing it the other way. Martin Manley got a couple of blocks. And inside the 10.
Eric Murray.
There's no foul in the play. The block in question was a side block.
So a much bigger playbook open for Iowa.
Martin Manley in the slot to the near side. And a good play by Rudock just to hit a 49-yarder, missed a 39-yarder when it hit the upright. He's true on this. Passed away.
Natural causes.
Very nice. Johnson on the return. Room to run across the 40. Shoved out of bounds inside. Capitalize on this series. The man who started the season, the tailback Donnell.
Missed down 3 touchdowns instead of potentially down 24.
Nelson pump fakes, throws in the flat. Kirkwood. It is a first down here for the Gophers. They have the ball at the 26-yard line. Check it, 3rd down. Didn't get much of a spot, and now Kirkwood barrels his way to Nelson in the pistol. Has a man, hits him for a touchdown, Derek Engel. 23 yards, he beat B.J. Lowry, and a nice throw by Nelson. The 5th catch of the day for Engel. Boy, did they desperately need that.
One-on-one coverage to the outside. B.J. Lowry made a technique mistake right at the snap, and Engel made him pay for it.
Hawthorne for the point after. Got some penetration, made it close. Returnable for Cotton from the 5. Got a seam and just tripped up.
So the ball thrown a little bit to the outside.
3:01 to go, 3rd quarter. Iowa's going to try to hammer away. You know,
You're supposed to use both hands for a jam. If you use one, you got to turn and run. Not done by Lowry.
2nd and 10. That's going to be good enough for a first down. Respect every play action fake that they make. Bullock in at tailback. Lowers his is a typical Iowa offensive line. These are big kids. Think players like Robert Gallery, top draft choices in the NFL. They always produce big, good linemen. Bullock taken down near the
very simple fullback isolation play on the linebacker.
Weissman back in. Stood up. Damian Wilson's made. Iowa 2nd and 10. Rudock can run or throw, decides to throw to one of his big tight ends.
In game.
Fedorowicz makes the grab, taken down at the 20. Weissman done a pretty good job with him. He's used.
I liked how Rudock held on to that, looking for it.
Rudock straight back, rifles it for the end zone. It's picked off. Brock Vereen in the end zone. What a huge play by Minnesota's defense.
Brock Vereen gets the big pickoff for Jerry Kill's team, and all of a sudden 2 scores down.
Nelson straight back to throw, goes out in the flat, compete to Cobb. Nelson gives it to Cobb, trying to go wide, cuts it back, has enough. You can't take forever on this drive.
No.
Not a good job by
It's the end of the game, obviously.
the Hawkeyes. Were 118th in the country with only 2 sacks through their first 4 games. If they don't get it on 3rd down, they almost have to go for it here.
I agree.
Cobb runs through an arm tackle, tries to dive forward. He is just. Kirkwood's in. Quarterback keeper, second effort. Looked like he got it. Nelson initially stopped, almost bounced, and then lunged forward.
Nice job by the center, John Christian, with his chest. I think it's Iowa's ball right here.
Fake the sweep. Just overthrown. Blitz coming. Nelson unloads, threw it behind Wolodarski, who has been his target. Another big 3rd down. 4-man rush. They get some pressure and overthrown.
2 or 3 minutes left.
Martin Manley, who had 2 punt returns for touchdowns last week, has been really held in check here this week. Makes a fair catch. All right, Janine, and they start with their big tailback, Weissman, now 102 yards on 17 carries for the day. And you're going to get a big dose of number 45.
Guy about 8 yards down the field.
Guess who? Big number 4 in front of him. Out of the I formation. Bullock. And once again, it's that middle linebacker, Damian Wilson. Started his college career at Georgia. A lot of people wondered how he would handle his return. Minnesota stepping up this time. Rudock with time. Steps into the throw and completes it to Martin Manley at the 38-yard line. Nice throw by Rudock. That means they can burn another 2 minutes off the clock. Weissman slips a tackle this time. And another one. Well, he said coming into the game, he hasn't been out of the eye this time. He's had 20 carries for 133 yards. Of course, one of the worries is there you
Develop something else. Not sure they'll have quite enough.
I think Joel Stavi is going to be a huge part of that game. If he throws the ball well, they've got a shot. If he doesn't, they don't. Minnesota trying to stop
That pass, you've got 4 receivers.
5:34 and counting. Rudock underneath, and that's not going to be any two extra 2 points. This will be from 46 yards out, and he got it. Johnson this time from the 5. He's got a seam up the middle. Up to midfield, still on his feet, out of bounds, the 45-yard line.
If Mike Meyer doesn't play that well, it's a touchdown for Minnesota, I think.
During the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the returning team bench. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
If you saw that last replay, you could see out of the corner of the screen 2 Minnesota players block
Conversions and get a 15-yarder.
Nelson straight back to throw on a post too high and almost intercepted through the hands of B.J. Lowry.
You don't know ESPN very well, do you, Robert?
Underneath the Cobb on a little screen. Up to the 47-yard line. Meanwhile, the clock is running. 4:22. Minnesota with its entire complement of timeouts.
And going fast. We didn't see this at the end of the first half, so now there's some urgency here.
4-man rush. There was cover die for the Gophers. Over the middle, intercepted by the middle linebacker, James Morris. And that ought to do it. Looks like Iowa's got a huge leg up to keep Floyd of Rosedale.
And the Iowa fans wondering, some of them, if they're going to jump back on the bandwagon of this Iowa team after a tough last year. Well, the win today, they tie their win total from 2012.
We're ready for a big dose of 45. Weissman could be stopped a couple. Won't give up a 1st down, but it becomes a moot point when the clock runs out. And they'll give it to the fullback, Adam Cox Hilliard. Weissman again breaks it down to the 30.
They'll take over running the sideline and offense and defense, and I'll finish after the play.
Second and short, and they'll have another first down at the Canzeri again swallowed up this time. Jerry Kill.
Unbelievable that even came up as a topic of discussion, that a man who has a seizure disorder can't do his job. Now, Jerry Kill is very clear that when it happens on game day, it is a problem. We have to go through this, but he's a guy that Minnesota should be doing backflips as their coach. Now, he's losing Floyd of Rosedale, but this is a program on the rise. Remember where Minnesota was 3 years ago when Jerry Kill took over. And this is a guy who, even though a tough game today, is doing a masterful job in a place that's not the easiest place in the world to develop a winning football team.
And has tremendous respect throughout the coaching community. And the Hawkeyes, once again, claim Floyd of Rosedale in the most popular trophy game in the Big Ten. Big day for Iowa. The Hawkeyes did what they do best, and Jake Rudock served notice that if they have to throw the ball, they can do it. The Hawkeyes carrying Floyd of Rosedale to victory again as they beat Minnesota 23-7. We get out of the field and join Janine Edwards.
Coach Ferentz, congratulations. With the way your last year ended, what's it like for you to see your team now at 4-1 and kind of get that bitter taste out of your mouth?
You know, the guys are they've worked extremely hard since last November. We're getting great leadership, and that showed up again today. I'm just really happy for our players. They've worked hard, and they're playing hard right now.
What stood out to you today about your team's play?
Well, I think a lot of things. Our defense really played well. A couple of big plays from some guys that haven't played a lot for us offensively in the first half, and then we made some big third down conversions. I know Jake had the one interception, but he's leading us well.
Yeah, how would you describe the identity you're starting to develop on offense?
You know, we didn't have much of one last year, so yeah, we're starting to do some things better. Our line's doing a good job. Backs are running hard, and we're starting to get a little bit of a passing game going.
You and I were just talking about that beautiful pig trophy over there. For those who may not understand, what's this mean to you, your coaches, your players, and your fans to get to bring Floyd back home?
You know, to me, it's all just about winning a Big Ten game, and certainly to do it on the road, those are tough. So no matter where you go, it's always a tough accomplishment. Just really pleased for our players again.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
Coach.
Janine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, we saw Iowa at the end of last year against Nebraska at the end of a 6-game losing streak.
Right.
This is such a different team than we saw last November. This is the identity that Kirk Ferentz wants. And I will say this, Greg Davis, and I was one of the people who questioned that hire, he's starting to figure out how to coach offense for Iowa. And by the way, this offensive line looks pretty good for the Hawkeyes.
The offensive line always looks pretty good for the Hawkeyes. The final...